So I welcome all the devotees for today's evening Bhagavad Gita class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 2, contents of the Gita summarized, Text 8. Nahi prapaśyāmi mamāpanudyād. Nahi prapaśyāmi mamāpanudyād. Chokam ucchoṣaṇam indriyāṇām. Chokam ucchoṣaṇam indriyāṇām. avāpya bhūmau asapatnam ṛddhaṁ. avāpya bhūmau asapatnam ṛddhaṁ. rājyaṁ surāṇām api cādhipatyam. rājyaṁ surāṇām api cādhipatyam. Word meanings: Na, do not. Hey, certainly. Prapaśyāmi, I see. Mama, my. Apanudyād, can drive away. Yet, that which. Śokam, lamentation. Ucchoṣaṇam, drying up. Indriyāṇām, of the senses. Avāpya, achieving. Bhūmau, on the earth. Asapatnam, without rival. Ṛddhaṁ, prosperous. Rājyaṁ, kingdom. surāṇām, of the demigods. Api, even. Cha, also. ādhipatyam, supremacy. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation: I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. Purport: although Arjuna was putting forward so many arguments based on knowledge of the principles of religion and moral codes, it appears that he was unable to solve his real problem without the help of the spiritual master, Lord Sri Krishna. He could understand that his so-called knowledge was useless in driving away his problems, which were drying up his whole existence, and it was impossible for him to solve such perplexities without the help of a spiritual master like Lord Krishna. Academic knowledge, scholarship, high position, etc. are all useless in solving the problems of life. Help can be given only by a spiritual master like Krishna. Therefore, the conclusion is that a spiritual master who is 100% Krishna conscious is the bona fide spiritual master, for he can solve the problems of life. Lord Chaitanya said that one who is a master in the science of Krishna consciousness, regardless of his social position, is the real spiritual master. Kiba vipra kiba nyasi shudra ke nanai yeyi Krishna tattva vetta seyi guru haya. It does not matter whether a person is a vipra, learned scholar in Vedic wisdom, or born in a lower family, or in the renounced order of life. If he is a master in the science of Krishna, he is the perfect and bona fide spiritual master. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, 8th chapter, 128th verse. So without being a master in the science of Krishna consciousness, no one is bona fide spiritual master. It is also said in the Vedic literature, Satkarmani puno vipro mantra tantra visharada avaishnavo guru nasyad vaishnavasvapacho guru. A scholarly Brahmana, expert in all subjects of Vedic knowledge, is unfit to become a spiritual master without being a Vaishnava or expert in the science of Krishna consciousness. But a person born in the family of a lower caste can become a spiritual master if he is a Vaishnava or Krishna conscious. Padma Purana. The problems of material existence, birth, old age, disease and death, cannot be counteracted by accumulation of wealth and economic development. In many parts of the world, there are states which are replete with all facilities of life, which are full of wealth and economically developed, yet the problems of material existence are still present. They are seeking peace in different ways, but they can achieve real happiness only if they consult Krishna or the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, which constitute the science of Krishna, through the bona fide representative of Krishna, the man in Krishna consciousness. If economic development and material comforts could drive away one's lamentation for family, social, national or international inebrities, then Arjuna would not have said that even an unrivaled kingdom on earth or supremacy like that of demigods in the heaven planets would be unable to drive away his lamentations. He sought therefore refuge in Krishna consciousness, and that is the right path for peace and harmony. Economic development or supremacy over the world can be finished at any moment by the catalysms of material nature. Even elevation into the higher planetary situations, as men are now seeking on the moon planet, can also be finished at one stroke. The Bhagavad Gita confirms this. Kshine punya martya lokam vishanti. When the results of pious activities are finished, one falls down again from the peak of happiness to the lowest status of life. Many politicians of this world have fallen down in that way. Such downfalls only constitute more causes for lamentation. Therefore, if we want to curb lamentation for good, then we have to take shelter of Krishna, as Arjuna is seeking to do. So Arjuna asked Krishna to solve his problems definitely, and that is the way of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimiraandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamsha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvise Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavareshwari Vrishabhalusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this is one of the very important verses in the Bhagavad Gita, especially the 7th verse and 8th verse, where Arjuna is finally surrendering to Krishna, sincerely. And so this is the foundation where Krishna starts speaking Bhagavad Gita from now onwards. So I'm sure, like the previous verse, the 7th verse, one of the very important verses, Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava prapaśyāmi tvam dharma sammūಢaseta yashreyasyan nissitam bruhitan me sishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. Where Arjuna is accepting, Krishna, now I am a soul surrendered unto you. So please instruct me. So till we go into this state, where till now Arjuna is giving so many reasons, like especially Arjuna has given 5 reasons where he is telling Krishna that if I don't want to fight. So finally when Krishna defeats all the arguments that no, you should fight, then after putting 5 arguments also Arjuna is not satisfied. So now he is finally surrendered. Then Krishna starts speaking Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada, explains very nicely. So our Krishna consciousness starts only when we fully surrendered to a bona fide spiritual master who is 100% Krishna conscious. Okay. So all the problems in this world is only because we want to do things out of our whims, not under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Even even sometimes, after coming into the Krishna consciousness, after accepting, like spiritual master, but still it's very rare to find a person who is 100% following the instructions of spiritual master, because our mind is so stubborn, obstinate, it's very difficult. That is the reason, so that is the reason, like every day we sing in the morning, the glories of spiritual master. Samsāradāvā nalalīda lokā trinaya kārunya ganāganatvam praptasya kalyāna gunānavasya svande guroshri charanāravindam. And where it is said, yasya prasadāt bhagavat prasado yasya prasadāt nagati kutopi. Only pleasing to spiritual master should be our goal of life. As we can see how Srila Prabhupada tirelessly tried in executing the instructions of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Yesterday we have celebrated his, appearance day, and this year is also, as it is said, 1922. Srila Prabhupada first time met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Okay, 100 years back. So, and Srila Prabhupada, we can see he went to established ISKCON in 1966. 44 years he remembered that instruction, and with full determination, So at this point we may be able to realize, but when those 44 years, we may not be able to think. So that is what a bona fide Krishna conscious Acharya, he sets by his example. So here Prabhupada has quoted a very nice verse. Shatkarma nipuno vipro mantra tantra visharada avaishnavo guru nasyat vaishnava swapacho guru. So similarly, Prahlad Maharaj is also saying in the Srimad Bhagavatam, he's telling how he's offering his prayers to Narsingadev. Viprad Vishadgunayutad Arabindhanava Padaravinda Vimukatad Swapacham Varistam Manye Tadarpita Mano Vachanarhineta Pranam Punati Sakulam Natu Bhuri Mana. So where Prahlad Maharaj is offering his prayers to Narsingadev, he is telling, if a Brahmana has all the 12 qualities, Brahmanical qualifications, so they are mentioned in a book called Sanat Sujata, but he is not a devotee and averse to the lotus feet of the Lord, he is certainly lower than a devotee who is a dog eater, but who has dedicated everything, mind, words, activities, wealth and life to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee is better than Brahmana, because the devotee can purify his whole family, whereas so-called Brahmana in a position of false prestige cannot purify even himself. So in many places we see Srila Prabhupada mentioned, I created this ISKCON movement to create Brahmanas. So when we say Brahmanas here, it refers to the Brahminical culture, the Brahminical qualities, with surrender to the Supreme Lord, with a mood of surrenderance. So once, a Brahmana is one who normally stays in the Sattva Guna. The quality of a Brahmana is one who stays in the Sattva Guna. So here Prabhupada writes, what are the qualities a Brahmana will have? So the 12 qualities of Brahmana are mentioned in this, Jnanam cha satyam cha damashrutam cha he amatsaryam hrish titikshat anasuya yagnaischa danam cha dhritis samasya mahavrata dvadasha brahmanasya. Where he's saying these are the 12 qualities of a Brahmana. Like, he's learned Jnanam, he's truthful, Satyam, his senses are controlled, Dhamma, he's not envious, Amatsarya, and he's tolerant, Titiksha. He does this yajna, he regularly sacrifices, Dhanam, he is also very charitable. So like this, there are so many qualities of a Brahmana mentioned. But Prabhupada writes very interestingly here, the European and American devotees in the Krishna consciousness movement are sometimes accepted as Brahmanas, but the so-called caste Brahmanas are very much envious of them. In answer to such envy, Prahlad Maharaj says that one who has born in a Brahmana family but is falsely proud of his prestigious position cannot even purify himself. Then what to speak of family? Whereas a Chandala, the same purport Prabhupada is saying, like what he's saying here. Even if a low-born person is a devotee, has fully surrendered into the lotus feet of the Lord, he can purify his entire family. So we can see there are so many examples that we can see the example especially of Narada Muni. How he do not discriminate, he goes and preaches to all different kinds of people. He goes and preaches to, in the womb to Prahlad Maharaj. He's from a demoniac family, apparently, if we see. And he goes and preaches to Dhruva Maharaj. He's from a, Kshatriya family. And he goes and preaches to Mrigari, who is from a, we can say, like Mlecha, Chandala. So, how a bona fide Krishna consciousness, Acharya, he do not discriminate. Okay, how he treats each, and he sets by example. And we can see how Srila Prabhupada, went to the Western countries, and how he purified them through this process of Krishna consciousness, actual purification. So this is what, even though one may be born in a dog eater family or Chandala family, but it's not that they are doing those things. He's born in that family, but now he is following the Vaishnava principles. So he can deliver the, he can deliver his entire family. That's what it is saying here. So, and one more thing which Prabhupada is trying to tell is this: the problems of material existence. So, what are the four things? Janma mrityu, jara vyadi, dukkha doshanu, darshanam. So, these four things cannot be solved by any amount of ṛddha, like economic development or accumulation of wealth. So, as many times we see in this present world, as everybody knows, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So people, people forget the first and last. They want only, ardha, and they want to fulfill their desires. Ardha and kama. So that is the main problem in this world. So if somebody takes care of like in the Bhagavatam, it is said in the second canto, kama istete, in the second chapter of first canto, it is said that like ardha should be used only in propagation of dharma. If we use then that is the right, that is the right purpose of ardha. Normally people think that I will do some pious activities, I get money so that I can fulfill my desires. But this is not. So the ardha is only used for the propagation of dharma. Okay. So then only our senses are purified so that we can attain moksha. Normally we do the reverse. We think that if I do dharma, I'll get some ardha, then I can fulfill my desires. So then we will be into this cycle. If that is there, then Arjuna would have told, okay, so let me win the battle, I'll get the kingdom, then I can enjoy. So here Arjuna is saying, even if I get a kingdom like demigods, prosperous like demigods, still I will not be satisfied. Okay. So we can see mainly one point which we can take from this purport is development of Brahmanical qualities is very important, and the birth is not very important. At the same time, we have to take the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master who can guide us and who is 100% Krishna conscious. See, the spiritual master should be 100% Krishna conscious, and we also have to surrender 100%. Then only our life problems can be mitigated. So I just thought to, based on this context, I just thought to read a section from the Bhagavatam where you all know this pastime which happened near Vrindavan only, where once Krishna and Balaram with his cowherd friends, they go into the forest. Okay, so where they become hungry, and Krishna tells, nearby this forest, near to this place, so there are some Brahmanas who are staying. So because in the kingdom of Mathura, the time where Brahmanas were very fearful, because Kamsa was not allowing anybody to do their the sacrifices. So with fear, they used to stay at the periphery of Mathura, and they used to perform some their sacrifices. So when cowherd boyfriends, they all felt hungry, and Krishna told, so you just go there and ask these Brahmanas that Krishna and Balaram are hungry, so you please, like whatever you have prepared to offer in the sacrifice, give that to them. So as you know, so that time these Brahmanas, they refused. They said, no, our sacrifice is not finished, so we are not going to give anything to them. Okay. So that time Krishna and Balaram, then these they come back. This cowherd boyfriends, they all come back to tell to Krishna that they have refused to give. So that time Krishna tells them, you just go and backside of the place, the yajna patnis are there. Like, these wives of the Brahmanas. You ask them, they will give you. So how these yajna patnis, know Krishna? Because Prabhupada writes, the acharyas, they tell that these Brahmanas, they are very expert in reading Vedic literatures. Okay? And they are very expert in doing sacrifices. But they never heard about Krishna from devotees. Okay? If we see these wives of Brahmanas, they are, they are not very expert in the Vedic sacrifices or Vedas, but they regularly hear about Krishna from people who come to sell flowers, who come to sell vegetables from Vrindavan. So they used to hear about Krishna's glories. So what is most important? Shravanam. Hearing about Krishna. So when we hear, so that is the first thing, even when we go to, what is the meaning of surrendering to Krishna? Hearing from Krishna. Surrendering to a bona fide spiritual master. Here, Arjuna, if we see, Arjuna is going to Krishna and surrendering to him, and he's saying, please instruct me. I will follow. Hearing means that what spiritual master tells, we have to do. That is the meaning of hearing. Like, it's not that I go and spiritual master tells something, okay, I heard, then I will do something. No. Whatever spiritual master said, that I should do with my mind, with my words, through my actions, completely. Mano, vak, kaya. It has to be done. So we can see here, we'll just read a few verses, very important verses here. And after they came to know that we have not given to Krishna and Balaram, they are the Supreme Lord. So they are repenting. Who are repenting? The Brahmanas are repenting. They are saying, so they are saying, this is a very nice verse, that let us Nunam Bhagavato Maya. Okay. So this is what it is told about the wives of Brahmanas. They said these women have never undergone any purificatory rites of the twice born classes, nor have they lived as a brahmacharis in the ashram of spiritual master, nor have they executed austerities, speculated on the nature of the self, followed the formalities of cleanliness, or engaged in pious rituals. Nevertheless, they have firm devotion for Lord Krishna, whose glories are chanted by the exalted hymns of the Vedas, and who is the supreme master of all masters of mystic powers. We on the other have no such devotion for the Lord, although we have executed all the processes. So who is saying this? So this is told by the Brahmanas. They are appreciating, they are glorifying the actions of their wives. And they are condemning the actions of their own. They are saying, Dig Janma means we have let hell with our birth. And let hell with our own woe of celibacy, our extensive learning, to hell with our aristocratic background and our expert in the ritualistic sacrifices. These are all condemned because we were inimical to the transcendental personality of Godhead. So I was thinking how Srila Prabhupada's disciples, they have I like when I read this Prabhupada Lilamrita, or when I hear from the Prabhupada like the disciples, or when we see these videos, how much love they had from Srila Prabhupada. At 1966, 67, this is almost more than 55 years now. How much love they had, because they were, and their advancement in Krishna consciousness, if we see, and their expertise, their conviction, so it's very unparalleled, because they were following these principles which is mentioned here. They are 100% surrendered to a 100% bona fide representative of Krishna. Okay, so we also have, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, that opportunities nowadays also. So if we can take that, so we will be also successful in executing this Krishna consciousness and being successful here. So here, so to conclude this, once these Brahmanas, they understood that we have made a mistake, we have not surrendered to Krishna. So we have we have not offered we have not honored Krishna, but they could not go and apologize to Krishna. So here Acharya is right, because they are not pure devotees, because they did not had that association from they could not hear. That is the reason, even though apparently it looks like they were afraid of Kamsa, if we go, so Kamsa may punish us. But see, the wives of Brahmanas, they went, so they were not afraid. So in the same way, so we all have to learn to surrender to a bona fide spiritual master and follow in their footsteps. So, okay, I'll stop here. Any questions, comments? Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So I'm not able to understand. In general case, suppose somebody say that Krishna is outside and please give me some prasadam. How the person who is doing the puja and doing the sacrifice, how he can recognize that? He will be able to recognize that Krishna is the real asking the food and prasadam. In this material world, anybody can say that Krishna is outside and please give me some prasadam. So in normal sense, if they, the priests who are doing the yajnas and the sacrifice, if they refuse to give the prasadam to coward boys, what was the wrong in this thing?
That is what Prabhuji I just mentioned. Because they know theoretically. See, the Brahmanas, Brahmana wives, they are staying at same place. Correct? But Brahmanas' wives understood that they are Krishna and Balarama Supreme Lord.
But how they know that they are the genuine?
Because they are hearing from the other persons, na? They are hearing from the people who are coming. So in the same way, means they have that eagerness. Like, every day they are hearing that today Krishna killed this demon. Today Krishna performed this pastime. Okay? So just by hearing that, they develop, love that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
No, no, that is good.
Huh.
But somebody is asking the prasadam or food, so the people, the Brahmanas doing the sacrifices, how they would recognize that they are the genuine Krishna or person? No doubt hearing. We are hearing also about the Krishna, so they were hearing about the Krishna. But how they can be able to understand that they are the real Krishna, not in the asking.
See, at least we know at this point, at this present, Krishna will not come. At least I can't say 100% Krishna wants to please some devotee, he can always come. Okay, he has that free will. So, but for us, we like if something is happening, so if we feel that we are not able to do it, we consult somebody whom we are taking guidance. Can I do this or not? Like for example, when we are doing fire sacrifice, like the example which you are asking, that time that somebody who is in charge there, somebody who is the in charge. So finally he is the one who takes care, like who is doing the priest. Okay, so finally he is the one. If we have a doubt anything to do, so we will ask him.
But I am not able to understand in the present circumstances. Yesterday I was in somewhere in some temple near local. They were asking money, give me so much money, otherwise this would happen, and they were. I understand that they were forging the things, and they were not the genuine people. So I come out from their gifts. So how we can now, how those pandits can understand that no, they are asking in the name of Krishna, they are not the genuine. So all the pandits, in the general way they were doing the sacrifices.
No, so let them do. So they may not be correct. So it does not matter. But you understood, na? They are not correct.
This is my own intention. I may be wrong. I may be wrong.
So if you think whether if you are correct or not, if you have a doubt, then you should go and ask somebody that I have done this one. So is it correct or not?
So now suppose I am asking you whether I did good thing or wrong thing. I come out of that.
No, when this is not like general. I am saying you should ask somebody, personally guidance. This is what I am saying. Like for example, if I have done something correct or not, I will go to my teacher, my spiritual master. I ask, okay, I have done this, whether it is correct or not. That is to my personal instruction, I am saying. If I am in doubt, if you are in doubt, Prabhuji, so this is a personal question I am saying. This is a personal question, then where you have to explain the details, that place. So then they will tell whether it is correct, whether it is authentic, bona fide or not, I am saying.
But at that moment, I have to take the decision immediately. My guru is not immediately over there. So I have to take the decision.
No, we have so many. See, guru is not only that like whom we have taken diksha. Guru means many siksha gurus are there.
I was alone at that time. No. And it is my own intuition only that no, he is not the genuine person. That's why I come out. Now I am thinking in myself whether I did the wrong thing or did the good thing.
But still you have time to rectify, I am saying. I am saying that still we have a chance to rectify. If you have a doubt, if you don't have a doubt, there is no problem. If you have a doubt, still you have a chance to rectify.
Okay, thank you. This was a practical problem yesterday.
It's a practical problem, that's what I am saying. If you have still doubt is there, you should still go to somebody, you rectify that point.
Okay. Despite so many happenings with Arjuna and the Kurus were insulting Draupadi and all, still he is so compassionate that I will not fight, and Krishna is making him understand again and again why it was so like
the same question was asked in my last class of Bhagavad Gita class also here. The answer is in one of the purports in the 9th canto. Srila Prabhupada writes that whatever injustice done to you, if you are a Brahmana, you will forgive.
Sorry, you are a Brahmana?
If you have a Brahmana, you will forgive.
Oh, Brahmana qualities.
But
if you have a Brahmana qualities, you will forgive.
But still, Prabhuji, it is not on him, it was on other members of the family. And
it doesn't matter. Five sons of, Draupadi were killed. She forgave.
But Arjuna was not Brahmana.
Huh?
Arjuna was not Brahmana.
Brahmana qualities, Prabhuji. Brahmana means Brahmana qualities. Okay. That is what Krishna is telling, na? You fight. In this telling, na? Krishna is telling you should fight. So, because Arjuna did not fight because he is a Kshatriya. Arjuna fought because Krishna told him to fight. Okay? So, it is, but because he has that quality of naturally that quality, but Krishna wants to make Arjuna an instrument. That is the thing. But if somebody is a Brahmana, he has that Brahmana qualities, he will forgive. If you are not able to forgive, that means you don't have that nature. Okay. It's nature. Okay. So it's not that somebody has to train. And all these qualities can be cultivated with proper association. Okay.
But still, only in this material world, if somebody is acquiring their property or something like land, or if somebody kills, then he will be imprisoned, he will be sent to jail. That they will not think that he has done something wrong, so he killed that person.
No, this is all like killing somebody and acquiring. These are all situational things we do it. But when we have a quality, it doesn't matter. Like, this is a one.
Ordered by higher authority, there is no sentence, no jail.
See, this is a one incident which I have like also mentioned in previous classes. This is a very practical incident which happened in the Gorakhpur. Like this incident happened, you can think of like 100 years back. Pre-independence, before independence. In one of a village near Gorakhpur, there is some land dispute came. So one family, like 2-3 families together, people came and killed a father of one small child. So this child is watching that somebody is coming and killing his father and going because of that. So he remembered all these faces, and one day he went and he killed all these 3-4 people. He's a small child, and he ran to the Himalayas. The Himalayas are very next to the Gorakhpur, and there he just ran and he went there, and he went into ashram of one sage, and he started staying there. And he started serving to that sage, okay, helping him. The sage also, like he did not discriminate, he did not doubt this person, because he has that compassion in his heart. So, and he started serving. He stayed there, and slowly he started hearing from that sage, and slowly he never asked. That sage never asked, who are you, why you have come, where are your parents? He never asked. He never questioned. He started staying in that ashram. After 15-20 years, so then this person told to that sage, see, he himself has told, I was staying in this village and I have killed so many people and I ran back. So the sage asked, so what do you want to do? Okay. So I want to go and surrender to police. This person only expressed. The sage did not tell, no, you should go to police. Okay. So he told, okay, you go and, so what you want to do, you go do it. So he went to the police station. He said that in this few years back, I killed, these people. So he told to police. So this is pre-independence. By the time India got independence, so the police have checked their records. They said that we don't have any records of this thing, so we can't register case. You go back. So he went back. So that means the thing is that what is the power here? The power is the association of that person that has transformed his heart. So all of us has that experience, that we have an association with a devotee, that has transformed our heart, so that we are all sitting here. And we have to keep, near to that fire of association, in genuine association, so that we can become pure. Like, the way the gold has to be put the long enough in the fire, so that its shining increases, its purity increases. ओके, थैंक यू. हरे कृष्ण. श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद.